Should you switch over your goldfish pond to a koi pond, or change your koi pond back into a goldfish pond? Let's get into that. Welcome back to Stubbs Aquatics, where here we deal with all kinds of different fish, from barbs to shubunkins to koi, and multiple species in between, including cichlids. But in this case, we're going to be talking about switching over a pond, or potentially switching over a pond from koi to goldfish, simply because I'm getting so frustrated with my koi pond. Don't get me wrong, I love it. I've just made changes to it to make it better, deeper. My koi ponds are, well, they're 6 feet deep, and that's because koi get really big and need that more room. And when it's cold here in Canada, they need to get under really deep and, stay away from the cold. With the size of the pond and the way it's built, there's no way I can heat it. And, well, koi are a demanding fish, and you have to take that all into account. And this year I have been nothing but frustrated with my filtrations, or my filters. I've done a few DIYs that have failed, and then just ones that shouldn't fail, like my Easy Pod. Well, instead of me belly aching about it, let's go over and take a look, and then we'll get into the topic of, to keep goldfish or should you keep koi? I've had to disconnect my pool filter that's full of K1, that from my box filter. Why? Because my pump was just not strong enough. And you're going to say, well, get a bigger pump. Well, it needs a pump the size of a pool pump to run. And that's, 220 volts and about, I'd say, a good $5 a day to run. I don't know about you, but I can't afford that. And then, I just watched a friend of mine, that being Ken from My Koi Obsession, who had a similar issue with his downstairs a pool filter full of K1 that just wasn't being cleaned out enough, that he put a blower system on it. Well, he's much more tech savvy than I am. And, well, unless you're a mechanic and or a plumber, these type of filters just may not work for you. But the worst of it all is my Easy Pod. It took the easy out of the pod. I don't run the air to it nonstop, as in I don't blow it off into the pond, but this part broke, which is no big deal because I bypass it. But the worst part is this became disconnected. Don't mind the additional gunk. I haven't cleaned it. What I've had to resort to doing is blowing it out with a hose. And being it's fall, I shut it down. It's frustrating. The part is at least $60. Friends of mine have told me to get a quick connect for a water sprinkler system that may work. I'm going to try that. I wish it was easier. There's nothing wrong with my water. It's crystal clear. My koi are nice and healthy and are ready, to go into winter, proper sized and healthy. They've grown very well. I've become very attached to them, which is another issue all on its own. Winterizing, you have to do a little bit more, I think, with koi than you do with goldfish, that's for sure. You have to take a lot of things into account, especially their diet. They've moved on, and are getting a fall diet right now, even though it's going to warm up into 68, 70, or 21 degrees Celsius. But they're looking good. But man, I've become frustrated with filtration. I had to shut this down anyways, just because they can't run over the winter. Same with that, but I mean, they were two big, K1 filters. Now I've just got the box filters, and and obviously my bog filtration, but it's fall. Bog time is for filtering is over. Sure, I've got more box filters over here before they run down into the stream. Did I mention I'm frustrated with the filters? Yeah, I may just. I'm definitely going to fix the Easy Pod because, you know, it's too much to waste on that. I guess you can tell the frustration in my voice. It's, you do all the extras and make it all the deeper, and I just had goldfish in here. I wouldn't have the same frustration level because I wouldn't need the same filters or as much filtration. I guess this is just me ranting, but you really need to take all this into consideration when getting a koi pond, or if you're going to keep goldfish, because goldfish are a lot easier. And if you're in Canada, like me, or even the States, and you're doing a YouTube channel and you're thinking you're going to get some views on YouTube for your koi pond, well, odds are highly against that. Again, that's probably why I probably don't do a lot of koi videos, other than for my family and friends, because they just don't get any views. And like I said, I think I have a nice pond system, minus the filters, of course, currently, anyways. So, why would you think about switching back from koi to goldfish? Well, I don't know if any of you know, I lost all my high quality koi several years ago, and that was just a freak accident. But I lost them all, and they were nice koi. And since then, I've been buying, well, very small koi, and I don't spend more than $8, $9 a piece when they're very young, and then I raise them up. If they don't look good, I move them on. So it's not really the money. Now the money comes in with the food, because koi food is ultra expensive. But then again, I feed that same koi food to my Shubunkins, so I can't really blame it on that. It's, I guess, because they're not as hardy as Shubunkins. I mean, you got to take your pros and cons. I mean, koi live a lot longer than goldfish. They're a lot friendlier. They interact with you a lot more, and that's why I'm leading to keeping them. But I'm telling you right now, if something should happen and I would lose them all over the winter or something like that, I wouldn't go back to them. Too many heartaches, you know. And like, why do I do YouTube koi videos? Well, I do those for me and a couple friends. I know they don't get a lot of views here in North America. Guys, that do excellent koi videos, like my koi obsession, Ken. I don't know anyone who's knows any more thing about koi than him. He even can top Vince from Twisted Koi over in the UK. It's just his knowledge is in the next level. Not to mention Maureen over at Keith's Koi Haven, or Christine at Sweet Acres Koi Farm, or Ty at the Koi Pit. To mention a few great North American channels that, you know what, they just don't get the love that they should. And others like Mustang Koi over in Australia, or Green Machine Sweden, who is like the guru of filtration. Like Magnus, well, he is, well, go and check all these out because they're great. And why am I ranting? Well, I don't know. I guess, obviously we all want to do well with videos, and I don't put out a lot of koi videos because, even though I think I have beautiful ponds, I just don't get the views. If I want views, I'll do barb videos or Shubunkin videos or even reviews. Uh, Again, I do the koi videos for myself, my family, and a few friends. So if more people want to watch it, great. So I'm done my ranting on that part. But as far as switching over to goldfish, it's a lot easier, folks. You don't need the same filtration. You still need good filtration, don't get me wrong. But and because they don't get the same size, and it doesn't seem to be the same heartache if you lose one or two that when you lose a koi. I don't know what the attachment is, but there is a greater attachment with koi than there are with goldfish. And I'm not knocking goldfish because I love my Shubunkins, as you well know, but they don't have the same personality, and that's why I'm still keeping my koi for now. But if I was to tell somebody or suggest to somebody about doing a pond, I'd probably tell them to keep goldfish, as in Shubunkins or commons or comets. They will overbreed and overpopulate unless you keep the numbers down. As the same with koi in a natural setting like this, they'll overpopulate, so you have to keep the numbers down. But you know, koi can be a lot of heartache. They're more prone to disease. They certainly, seem to. I've never had a problem with disease with my Shubunkins. Koi, they're susceptible to parasites. Not that parasites can't get in goldfish or Shubunkins. It just seems that their immune system is that much stronger and they're hardier. The fact that they just, whether it's Costia or flukes, they just don't seem to be able to get a hold of them as easy it is with koi. That's why I would suggest, especially novice people, to start with goldfish, and then if you really want to work your way up, but understand you're going to have to really beef up your filters. And I know I have to beef up my filters. I'm not going to do that till spring. Um, Shut down the Easy Pod for now. Obviously, I've shut down my pool filter with K1 in it. I'm going to have to get rid of that or set up a different system with it or give it to somebody who's got a pool filter that's running a koi pond or another pond. They're great if you want to spend the money on pumps. My pumps are just definitely not strong enough to clean that out. I mean, you'd have to hook a couple of mine inline, and that still wouldn't even be strong enough. So that's out. Sorry for the rant here, guys. It's just been a bit of a letdown. I made this pond, or both the ponds, way deeper for the koi, and it's just not going as well as I'd hoped. And that's the frustrating part. I guess we all want our ponds to do better. That's why we're always constantly changing around and breaking them down and starting over. So that's it. That's it in a nutshell, guys. Again, I'm not knocking goldfish. I'm not knocking koi. It's just me personally. If something happens to them, I already said it before. I'm going to switch back over to goldfish. And you know, and again, goldfish are great. They don't live as long, which is a downer. They don't get as big, which is okay. They can be just as colorful and beautiful as koi, in my opinion, anyways. They're definitely hardier, which makes life easier. And really, don't forget to check out those channels I mentioned. There's a lot more out there, but those are great channels. Go check them out. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, remember to hit that thumbs up button. Think about subscribing and hit that notification. And we'll see you in the next video. And who knows, maybe I'll even do one more koi video this year. Don't know. Anyways, thanks for sticking around. Bye for now, and we'll see you real soon.